Good morning. Today is day 32. I stayed at the Big Bald Mountain Shelter last night, and I ended up setting up my tent. I was indecisive because I was there's the chance of rain and snow and ice, and I had a bad experience with ice on my tent another time, but I went for it anyway because I just get better sleep in my tent, and I wanted to pack up early this morning. It's easier when you're set up in your tent, so I did that, and it ended up not being bad. There was a little bit of ice this morning, but it was mostly just water because it's raining and sprinkling, kind of sleeting this morning. I don't know, it's a mix of everything. But I only have 16.8 miles today to do to get to Uncle Johnny's, and I tried to reserve a private cabin, but they were all booked, which is kind of a good sign because it means there's a lot of people there, because I know that big group that's a day ahead of me all got there yesterday, so maybe they're zeroing today because of the bad weather. Then maybe I'll see some people again, because last night at the shelter it was just me and the guy from the shelter from the night before, and then Jeff, who is the section hiker that I met that day that I got off trail to go see my parents, and he was helping me get the ice off my tent that day, or was trying to help me. So it was nice to see at least another person there besides the guy I hiked with yesterday. But I'm hoping there's a lot of people at this hostel because I really want to make some friends. But also today's supposed to be pretty easy-ish, and it's 2,700 feet of elevation gain and 6,000 feet of descent, so hopefully it's not super muddy and I can go down pretty fast because I left at 7:30, so it's practically 17 miles to get there, so I'm hoping to get there by 4. That's why I left early, because I want to have if I'm going to a hostel, I'd like to have time to shower, do laundry, use the Wi-Fi and stuff. They offer tenting there, so I think that's what I'm going to do, because I don't really want to stay in the bunkhouse, but maybe I'll do the bunkhouse, I don't know. Or maybe one of the private cabins will open up. But either way, it'll work out. This hostel has pretty good reviews, and they give rides into Irwin if I want to go to the grocery store, which I don't know if I'll do that or not, but I'll definitely need to get some sort of resupply, but not a ton. Yeah. Alright, I've gone 7 miles, so a little less than 11 to the hostel, so I'm making good time. And the rain has kind of slowed down-ish, sort of, and then it picks back up. But yeah, it's been a good day of hiking so far. Alright, it's 12:30, and I have about 6 miles to the hostel, so I'm making really good time because it's been a lot of pretty easy terrain, not a ton of climbing, so that's been good. I just passed the no business knob shelter. I didn't stop just because I have kind of a rhythm going, and I really just want to get to the hostel and shower and stuff, and maybe have time to go into town if I want to. So yeah, also it's barely raining that well. I don't know, it goes back and forth between pouring and then barely raining. Also, depending on what side of the mountain I'm on, it's super cold or really hot. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt with my fleece and then the rain jacket over it, which most of the time feels good, and sometimes I'm sweating. So yeah. I am almost down into Irwin. The town is up over there, and I think the hostel's down in here somewhere by the bridge. But yeah, exciting. Good morning, it is day 33. I stayed at Uncle Johnny's hostel last night, which is right on the trail when you enter Irwin, Tennessee. And I had called and tried to reserve a private cabin there the day before, but they were already booked. So when I got there, they had availability in their bunkhouse, but the weather was nice, so I just stayed in my tent, and that way I was able to dry it out because it was wet from the night before. It was only $15 to stay in my tent, and I got shower, laundry, and a shuttle into town all included in that, which I think was the best deal ever. Also, there was Wi-Fi, and I had access to the Wi-Fi from my tent, and the place was overall really clean. I was happy. They had a little fire pit going and music. I went over there for a bit, but then I went and relaxed in my tent and organized some stuff, and I was able to go to the grocery store last night. It was a food city, and I did a little resupply, and also I was able to walk to Taco Bell and get dinner, and then I had bought ice cream, a pint of almond milk ice cream at the store, so I ate that when I got back to the hostel and just chilled and was on the phone and stuff, and it was I was really happy there. I hiked out this morning at like 8. I'm heading to the Cherry Gap shelter. I don't really know if anyone's going to be there. I feel like I was hoping that there'd be all these people at the hostel, which there were, but they were all like not hiking out north. Like they're all like did like a Sobo slack pack yesterday, so they're like gonna be starting like 20 miles up ahead, or they're doing that today. So I don't know, there might be some people at the shelter tonight, I'm not sure, but I'll eventually catch up to some people, or some people catch up to me. I'll get in a group again. I think the weather just has people like spread out, but I tried to reserve a bunk at the Mountain Harbor Inn, which is like, I should get there not tonight, not tomorrow night, but the next night. But they're already booked with bunks, and they had a private room, but it was like for 2 people, so it was like $75. So you can tent there. So I might try to do that if the weather's nice, but it's supposed to be thunderstorms as of right now, but that might change because it's a couple days away in the forecast. There's another hostel too, but apparently that one's like the party spot, and I'd rather go to the Mountain Harbor Inn, which apparently is like the chill spot. But if it's really bad weather, I'll probably end up at the party spot and just go and get in a bunk because I think it's a lot bigger. So maybe there'll be availability, or I can just try to like hunker down in a shelter or something that night. We'll see. But I have a lot of food. Also, these really nice guys at the hostel had a resupply box and they had too much food in it, so they gave me their like backpacker meals. So I could have taken 4 or 6 actually, because this other guy was trying to give me his too, but I only need like 2 more meals. So I took 2 of these like vegan fancy backpacker meals that probably together cost way more than I even paid to stay there last night. So I feel like I made out, like I had a great deal. Hopefully today's great, the weather's nice, and I'm heading up like, it's just over 17 miles, but I started at 8 and it stays light till like after 8, so I have plenty of time. Yeah, see you later. There's a train going over the bridge over the river. This thing is so loud. It's like been squeaking for the past like 5 minutes. I'm just got across the tracks before that thing came. I'd be standing there forever just waiting. Look, this hole in the log looks like a bear. It has little ears, a face. I'm just stopping at the shelter. I realized I forgot to put on sunscreen. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna come over now, so something on the front. Maybe get some water. Have a snack, almost 5 miles today. It's hot outside. We get a lot of water. So start feeling like bad. In the area where I am right now, there's all these little things, which I think is fur, but I don't really know. Could be like something from a plant. To me, I thought it was like a bunch of fur, but now I'm not really sure. As I'm hiking, I like keep thinking about how there's supposed to be thunderstorms now, and I'm like really stressing myself out about it too. Because the plan is tomorrow night to camp at the Roan High Knob shelter because it's supposed to be pretty warm. But if that's the case, then I have to go over Roan Mountain the next day and like be up at really high elevation, and I think that's when the thunderstorms are supposed to be. Well, like it's like hard to predict them, and like AT weather doesn't really say that much, but like I mean I could always just sit in Roan High Knob shelter like all day and wait out the thunderstorms. But I'm trying to catch up to people, and I'm just like hiking and I'm just like panicking and thinking about it. It's really getting me all stressed out. But like it's such a nice day, and I'm like ruining my hike today by thinking about weather 2 days from now that I can't predict. But yeah. I just had trail magic at Indian Grave Gap, which is like 2 or 3 miles before a beauty spot. But it was really nice. It was like this guy, and he had like fresh fruit and different drinks and brownies and banana bread. So I had a brownie and an apple and some hot chocolate he made for me. And it was really nice. I also ran into the people that I had stayed with kind of last night because they were going the other direction. And then there were some people that were pulling out of the Trail Magic right as I was getting there, and I'm pretty sure they're going to the same shelter as me tonight, so shouldn't be alone. So that's good. I always convince myself that I'm gonna be alone and it's gonna have a huge storm or something, which the storm's still coming. That's tomorrow night, and the day after, but I should be fine tonight. There'll be people there, and even if there's not, I would be fine. I always just panic for no reason. But yeah, day's turning around. I'm gonna stop and have a little lunch. I have a beauty spot, but feeling energized from the brownie. I'm almost to the top of beauty spot, but look at the view already. It's kind of a view this way too. Alright, I made it to the top. I'm here at beauty spot having lunch, my tortilla roll up, but this time instead of peanut butter and tortilla and raisins, it's cream cheese on a tortilla and raisins. I'm trying to switch things up. Look at that beast of a mountain. That's where I'm hiking next. It doesn't even look that big on this camera, but I promise you, it looks massive. But there's cool little trees on top. I think it's gonna be like it was in the Smokies, and it smells like Christmas. I'm less than half a mile from the shelter, and I feel pretty good still. I'm gonna get there before 6 o'clock, which is nice. If there's people there, I can maybe kind of hang out with them and just have time before I go to bed. So just hang out. But I feel pretty good. I think I'm definitely getting stronger. Like my legs and stuff feel a lot better going uphill, and I can just make it longer days without feeling tired, so it's exciting. Of the pumpkin spice moon pie. Taste testing it. Because lately my family's really into moon pies, and I saw this at the store. I was like, my dad would love this. Big too, it's like 3 things. It's called a double decker, but I call that triple decker, man. It's like a middle one. Yeah, just like everything else is pumpkin spice. Kind of like pumpkin pie. Give it a 9.5 out of 10.